Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. In this video, let's talk about using a guitar pick. Let's cover how to choose a pick, hold a pick, how to pick single notes, how to strum with a pick, some tips on making things easier for your playing, and things to avoid when you're playing guitar with a pick. Keep in mind that like many aspects of guitar playing and music in general, there is no single right way or wrong way to do things. Much of it is preference, so you have to experiment and find what works best for you. In this video, I'm going to share what works best for me and what has worked best with the vast majority of my private students. As you probably know, there are a countless number of different sizes, shapes, thicknesses of guitar picks available. Generally, I recommend not using anything thinner than a medium pick. I think it's very difficult to develop good picking technique with anything thinner because I find the pick flopping around due to its thinness doesn't allow building a solid, dependable technique. So beyond that, use whatever you like and experiment. Find what works best for you. Now there's no wrong way to hold a pick. I've seen quite a few great players hold a pick in very unusual ways. And in the past, I would encourage my students to just do whatever came naturally to them. But as they progress, quite a few started to have problems due to how they were holding the pick. So now I encourage my students to hold the pick the way I do, which is really effective and really the most common way I've seen with guitar players. So to demonstrate. So we start by bending the index finger at the middle joint until your fingertip is right against your palm. We place the pick on the outer right side of the finger, right here. Then place the thumb on the top side of the pick. See that? And you can move it around. And you can experiment with moving the pick along the finger. Higher up can work really well for you, or a little lower towards the middle joint. I always tell my beginner guitar students to hold the pick firmly and pick lightly. This is especially true with the electric guitar. Since you're amplified, there is no need to really dig in with a pick unless you're going for that specific sound. So something like pretty aggressive if that's what you're looking for, but that's all you really need to get a good sound. I'm not trying hard at all. And if you're digging in any harder than that, you're probably just working too hard. But again, it depends on the approach, the sound you're trying to create. But we need a default approach, something that's very relaxed and dependable for everything. And then we can build on that to do and create whatever sounds and whatever phrasing we're trying to create. So how firmly should you hold a pick? Firm enough so it doesn't move when you're playing the guitar. And always make sure the rest of your hand and arm is very relaxed. You can curve your fingers inward or let them hang out, whatever they want to do naturally. But don't create tension. Don't make a fist. Don't squeeze. The only tension you should feel in your entire arm is between the index finger and the thumb holding the pick. Now, picking motion can come from three sources: your elbow, your wrist, or even your fingers. I've seen some people do this. Almost like using a pencil. In other words, all the moving parts of your arm below the shoulder can be used to generate your guitar's pick movement. I focus mainly on the wrist for single notes and the elbow for strumming chords. So single notes, picking one note at a time. We rest the palm on the bridge just behind the saddles. So here's our bridge. Put the palm right there. And we can move the wrist up and down like a hello. I tell little kids, like you're waving hello. See, up and down, waving. I'm exaggerating the motion, but you can see what I'm trying to explain here. Now, when we are strumming the guitar, picking more than one string of the time, and even all of them at once, our palm is now floating above the strings and not resting on the bridge. So not this, which is okay, but mainly we want to focus for strumming is more of a floating. See stiff, but we're generating the motion from the elbow. Okay, now you know how to hold a pick, how to position your hand for single note picking, and the position of your hand for strumming. In the next video, let's actually play some notes and go into more detail.